Tony D and Little Joan with a Screenwriter's Rant on I'm Charlie Walker, a movie about a San Francisco contractor who beats racism. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my videos on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble. Also, check out my books. Links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 8. Also, check out the new t-shirt over at Redbubble. It's for Tales of Pizza. This is Mitch Pepper, the main character, and he hates his job. And it says on a pizza box, "My job is a joke." All right, let's get into the movie. I'm Charlie Walker. Okay, so this is based on a real guy. He's still alive. He's 88 now. And he was kind of one of the many, I'll say proteges of Willie Brown. And Willie Brown's actually in the movie, crazy enough. I don't think he is, though, which is weird. It's like, why would you put Willie Brown in and not him? But whatever. Willie Brown doesn't play himself. He plays like a cab driver or something, which is a joke because apparently Charlie Walker did become his chauffeur for a while before the events in the movie. It's based on a true story, so it's probably not exactly true. But the basic premise of the movie is back in, I guess it was 84, there was a major oil spill. 2 tankers collided near the Golden Gate Bridge, and there was a major oil spill. And there were various contractors vying for the cleanup, and at that time they were still divided in black and white. I mean, this is like the 80s, I guess, or the 70s. So there was a black union and a white union, apparently, still in San Francisco. Yeah, real progressive, huh? And they, he fights the evil white one to get some contracts, and he wouldn't join the union. He wanted it to all be, race didn't matter. So he fought for that. So he's an interesting character from history. I mean, he was also eventually indicted for tax evasion and went to jail, but that was after probably the events of the movie. But so basically, he's fighting systemic racism, as they would say. He's like, a hero for that time. And then, Willie Brown's actually in the movie. This is weirdly political. It's weirdly political. Is this guy a real hero? I don't really know him. I mean, he did go to jail. Nobody's perfect, though. I mean, but here's the oil slick, I guess. Oh, I guess that spells his name, so it's not a real. Yeah, it's I'm Charlie Walker. So it's got coming soon. It's about a guy who's fighting the system in San Francisco. Racist San Francisco. So there's lots of money involved and contractors. Look, it doesn't matter what color you are. Usually these contractors are as crooked as can be, in my experience anyway. Especially the ones that work for the government. But, it's kind of a weird trailer. I mean, they sort of make them out to be like Shaft. I mean, look at this scene. Right? I mean, it's a little spicy. It seems like a weird thing to show of the hero. I mean, maybe he was that kind of guy. He was a ladies' man. I don't know. It's his way or the highway. I mean, there's a lot of hot girls in this, so looks cool. I mean, look at these girls. Checking out the package, I guess. Look at where their eyes are. So, I mean, it's a true story or based on a true story. I don't know. And then he's the bad white contractor who is very crooked and I guess eventually gets him in the end. And here he is probably earlier in the timeline. So, it's so weird. Willie Brown's in it. And then they show the skyline of San Francisco over the decades growing, which is interesting. Here, I'll just play that part. Where'd it go? Yeah, watch. So you see the buildings popping up. That's probably at the end of the movie to show how his influence changed things and how the city grew, and then eventually became a place where homeless people can poop in the streets. I mean, he did all that work to get us there, I guess. Um, San Francisco has an incredibly, I think, corrupt local government. And this to me only proves that they were corrupt for a long, long time. So, I mean, I don't think there were Republicans back then and running San Francisco. Maybe that was the last vestiges of them. I mean, where's the movie about how corrupt San Francisco is? I'm waiting for that movie. Gavin Newsom was one of the mayors, I believe. Anyhow, it looks okay. I mean, there's hot chicks in it. It looks like one of those movies about, a guy who was up and coming, and he changed the rules, and he broke the ceiling or whatever, and, did things. So first act, it's going to be about him probably experiencing some amount of racism, and, he's banging his head against the wall trying to play by the rules, and then he's just like, F this, I'm going to do something different, and then this opportunity arises. There's an oil spill. And he just decides, you know what, this is my opportunity. I'm going to turn a crisis into an opportunity. So he goes and he says, no, give me the contract. And somehow he gets a contract. He didn't get the contract, but he got a contract to clean up the oil spill. And they let it, as part of, I don't know, affirmative action maybe early on or something like that. And then he gets it and he does a good job. And everybody's like, whoa, but there's all sorts of racial tensions that he has to deal with, and then there's all sorts of money being exchanged, and then apparently he goes to a bar and hooks up with like 3 or 4 hippie chicks. I don't know. That scene seems a little bit out of place, but it's a movie, so we want to see some fun, exciting stuff like hot chicks. And, there'll be a lot of scenes like this where he's like, putting it to the man, and getting ahead, and then inevitably we'll have the here he is in the bar. Inevitably we'll have the scene where they show the skyline growing and have a scroll saying how Charlie changed the face of San Francisco for the better, and blah 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 blah. And today it's a place where you can get drugs on the streets. No, that's not his fault, obviously. But I mean, he's still around. I don't know what he does now. I mean, he got convicted of a crime, so I don't know if he's in the local government. But does it look like a movie? It looks okay. I mean, it looks like it's not unentertaining. That Willie Brown's in it is a little weird. The whole thing feels a little shady to me. That Willie Brown's in it, right? I mean, he strikes me as kind of a corrupt politician. He's the guy who brought up Kamala Harris. Yeah, so this all feels a little bit like a payday for someone. So I'm not so sure I would support this movie on a political basis, but as a straight up movie, it looks okay. This is the kind of movie I'd watch in the middle of a Sunday when I was visiting my relatives and there was nothing else to do as a kid, and I'd go sit in the back room while my parents hung out and drank coffee, and I'd watch whatever was on TV, and a movie like this would show up and I'd watch it. And it wouldn't be unentertaining on TV. All the good parts would be edited out, but would I go to a theater? Oh, no way. No way would I go to a theater for this. I might watch it on a Netflix or something to see the hot chicks and see what it was about. But then, I might read about what actually happened and then be kind of annoyed that they sort of leave out the downside of Charlie Walker, maybe. But maybe it'll be a balanced showing of him. Maybe. It seems very political, though, doesn't it? It seems very political. I mean, it is about politics, but it's like a weird time. It's like Hollywood can't seem to make a political movie about now. I mean, how relevant was, the George Floyd riots and the Seattle riots and the Portland riots? Seems like super, super relevant, and there'd be a lot of good fodder there. They're not making that movie. It's still going back in time. The same old story. Oh, the white men are in charge and we got to take them down. Yeah, it was like 50 years ago. Guy's 88 years old. So even he's got to be like, you're making a movie about me? I'm not okay. So I mean, again, it doesn't look bad. I mean, the acting looks good, looks solid. So yeah, I mean, I like that aesthetic from that time period because I remember it. So it's a bit nostalgic for me. Got a little American flag on his lapel pin. I think this is '84. So yeah, this is the whole Reagan thing. Everybody was doing that. And it's about corruption, but again, for the Hollywood and for the left, corruption only goes one way. So anyhow, that's it for me. Tony D. Oh, I guess I should do the breakdown. Did I do the breakdown? First act? Yeah, no, I did. The last act will just be whatever happened to him. Right. Yeah, I didn't do the last act. Okay. That's it for me and Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more based takes, if that wasn't based enough. And we'll see you in the next one.